What is up, everybody? We are rolling audio here today on episode 16 of The Hotter Show. The first ever sick episode of the podcast here. Forgive me if I sound a little weird. I am just kind of nursing a bit of a head cold right now. It's a pain in the ass, but nothing slows me down from doing this damn podcast. Nothing will ever slow me down from bringing you guys this podcast, okay? I could be in bed right now. I could literally be bedridden right now, and I would still find a way to sit at this microphone, press that record button, and talk about whatever is on my mind, because I love doing it, and I love doing it for you. So thank you so much for hitting that play button and tuning in. A lot going on this week. Just quickly touch on some things. Obviously the devastating terror attacks. Everyone's talking about. I'm not really going to comment a whole lot on it. Obviously, I wish the families of all the victims nothing but the best. We're sending our thoughts and prayers and everything out to them. Just an absolute heinous act. You see stuff like this and it just blows my mind, the fact that there's bullshit like this in the world. I don't understand. It angers me, it pisses me off, and hopefully something can be done about it, because enough is enough. There's no need for this kind of bullshit. Pisses me off. I didn't want to go into it too much on the podcast here, but I just wanted to kind of say my piece quick about that. As well, what came out this week was that Mr. Rob Ford has passed away. Former Toronto Mayor, Mr. Rob Ford, who was unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. It was a rare cancer. I can't recall the name of it right now, but it was a 18-month battle, which is just that's shitty. But people can say whatever the hell they want about Rob Ford and about the fact that he basically became an internet celebrity and all this kind of crap and stuff. But at the end of the day, he had a family, now, his family has suffered that loss, his poor children and his wife and everything. Just feel for them greatly, sending my thoughts and prayers out to them, of course. Just tragic. But something pretty fucking awesome also happened this week. Obviously, a lot of negative, but the one beacon of light. Little band from Bowmanville, Ontario, decided finally stop teasing us and release their new single. And holy fuck, did they ever release a single? Okay, Out of My League, their new single dropped Tuesday. If for some reason you have not heard it, that's what this podcast is all about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Out of My League Cast. That's right, Out of My League Cast. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, due to my personal celebration of Out of My League releasing their new single and their new album coming up fairly soon, actually, April 2nd, I wanted to do something about Out of My League. I wanted to try and have one of the guys on. Unfortunately, just the next couple weeks are just no good for me to try and schedule some kind of an interview or whatever. There's just no way. But that will be happening for sure at some point. But I wanted to do something. So I decided to do kind of a bit of a tribute episode to one of my favorite local bands. Been a fan of their stuff from the moment I heard it. And I just wanted to kind of just talk a little bit out of my league and, most importantly, play you guys a few tracks, including the new single. Okay? Well, I guess technically singles, but we'll just call it all one song just for its simplicity. So, who is Out of My League? Well, Out of My League are a metalcore hardcore band from Bowmanville, Ontario. And the reason that you guys need to know about them is because they're awesome. Couple weeks ago, I did a podcast on local bands, and I did talk about Out of My League, but I didn't really go into a lot of detail about them, or did I? Any of the bands, really. I had a lot of bands to get through, and the reaction for that episode was awesome, so thank you guys so much for that. But Out of My League, they're one of those bands that you see, and maybe at first glance you kind of go, it's just another, metalcore band with a bunch of kids or whatever. But then you talk to them, and you get to know them, and you see them live, and you hear their music, and you go, oh, holy shit, these guys have got something. And that's really what I felt the first time I heard them. And really, the way I got to know the guys was actually the singer, Dom. His brother actually came into the store. I didn't really know a lot of people in the Bowmanville scene, other than Mav. Shout out to Mav. And we kind of got chatting one day, and he's like, oh, you should, my brother, just joined this band or whatever, you should check him out, Out of My League. And I'm like, yeah, cool, and I think I looked them up, and I was like, cool, I like their page on Facebook, whatever. I was like, right on, cool. And a couple weeks went by, and I met, kind of not knowing at the time, their bass player, Ali, was actually a student at the store for a brief period of time. He was doing some lessons in that, and I knew him a little tiny bit. We didn't really talk a whole lot, but then I realized he was in this band, so I was like, cool, kind of a little bit more incentive for me to check him out, I guess. And I think I met Steven first. It's because he came in with one of his guitars, and it needed a bit of work and stuff. And after that, pretty much he was one of my regular guys at the store. Always great talking to him about gears and guitars and stuff. And Steven is definitely a unique player as far as in the kind of metalcore hardcore genre, because he's not necessarily just strictly into that kind of music. Not saying all the other guys are only into that or anything, but just like Steven, he plays a lot of really kind of cool ambient stuff and things like that. And he's also a drummer, so he kind of has a really unique take on rhythm guitar playing, and doing little fills in between songs and stuff like that. And he always brings this really cool element to their music, this really unique element, little underlying guitar tracks and things like that. And I always thought that was so cool. And on top of all that, he's a good fucking dude. So it's a win-win situation, folks. And I guess really the next guy I met, kind of officially met, was Ali. Like I said before, he was just doing the store and everything, but we never really talked that much. I think Ali came in to buy some strings one time with Steven, and we got chatting, and I found out he's a good dude, and he freaking rips on the bass. Like Ali's bass style, he really just holds down the fort in the best possible way. Like he really just, he friggin' hits his bass and plays his bass so goddamn hard that I feel bad for the bass sometimes. Okay, he just it's cool as shit to see. His onstage presence is so cool. It's gotten better as time's gone on, and just he plays the shit out of his bass, and his bass tone is superb. Okay, superb is the word to describe Ali's bass tone, because it is chunky and just it's awesome. And I'm sure I've told him that 1,000 times, but Ali, if you're listening, your bass tone is awesome. I am telling you again, teach me your ways, sir. I guess the next guy I met in the band was Taylor, who is the other guitar player out of my league, the lead chugger. I think came in, I think, with Steven one time, and just good dude, funny dude. He had me laughing and shit, and very fucking like solid as shit rhythm. Okay, like first time I saw out of my league play live was at a Battle of the Bands, and Taylor was kind of jumping around and being a goof, and I'm like, okay, cool, like it's his gimmick, you know. And I was like, but I wonder how like I was playing going to be. Like I'd seen him play in the store, and he was like really tight, but I'm like, I wonder how it's going to be. And that friggin' guy, like the second that he needed to hold it down, he fucking, you know, like, and I was like, holy shit, like he went from literally like being a goofball jumping around and stuff to literally like fucking, okay, it's serious now, let me fucking chug this. And it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, like that guy, he can go from goofy Taylor to like game face Taylor, and he's just, you know, fucking, and it's sick. One of the coolest moments of that show was, it was Ali, Dom, Steven, and Taylor, and the four of them were kind of all in a row, and Dom put his hands up and they all started bouncing in rhythm. And I know that's like a total typical thing, I guess, for metalcore bands and stuff to do, but it was timed so perfectly, and it was like, you know, it's something I hadn't really seen before, and I was like, yo, that's sick. Like, I'm just like, oh, like, and mind you, they're all playing perfectly, like, just tight as shit. Taylor's playing was just still tight, and he was making a goofy face, and I'm just like, I don't get it, but fuck it, who cares? You know, the tandem of him and Steve kind of sharing the guitar duties and kind of trading back and forth, I think doing leads and stuff like that. It's cool, the dynamic of those two. They really kind of bring it and they hold it down, and it's sick. It's absolutely sick. So the next guy I met from the band was actually the drummer Anthony, Tony, as he's referred to sometimes, the drummer for Out of My League. And really, all I gotta say about Anthony is he's definitely one of my favorite drummers in the scene, and I'll tell you why. Because listening to the first time I ever actually heard Out of My League in this particular song, which I'm going to play for you in just a couple minutes, there's one part, kind of like in the post-chorus, where Anthony has this little like hi-hat fill that's very like, not poppy, but like it's really like, it's not traditional metalcore, metal hard rock drum style. I caught that and I went, that's sick. Like just, you know, and he's doing like rim shots and stuff. And I'm like, that's sick. Like I realized very quickly, this is a very schooled like drummer. Like very diverse. And the first time I met him, like I was like, hey, we're chatting away, and he's just a good fucking dude. He's smiling and really nice guy. And I made a comment about that. And he's just like, dude, like it's funny you mention that, because he's like, I like started off like not really playing metalcore and stuff. If I'm remembering the story correctly, I apologize, Anthony, if I'm not, but my memory's terrible. But from what I recall, he said, you know, he's like, I didn't really start off playing metal and stuff. Like I kind of started off playing just kind of whatever, and I play rock and pop. He's like, I didn't care. I just wanted to learn a bunch of different styles. So he brings this really unique style of drumming into the metalcore hardcore genre, where a lot of drummers tend to fall into that trap of just kind of playing the same old shit all the time. And, you know, he doesn't do that. There's not a time I've heard an Out of My League song gone like, yeah, it's, you know, generic drumming and shit. And he brings it every time. And even in the new single, like it's heavy, and he can fucking, you know, it was like heavy breakdown. He can do that just as good as anybody, as far as I'm concerned. But when he needs to, he can also mix it up, which is so awesome, and it makes him such a unique drummer. And one reason why I think Out of My League are so unique is because of Anthony. And of course, last but not least, was the last member of the band that I met. I think I officially met him actually at Battle of the Bands. The first time I saw them play. That was Dom, the singer. And I saw their set, and right away, like, I didn't know Dom, so I was like, I don't know what to expect, you know, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, this fucking guy is controlling the stage and the audience. Like, when I tell you he's controlling the audience, I mean, like, okay, I'm sitting at the Battle of the Bands here, surrounded by a bunch of kids watching Out of My League, okay? When I say kids, I say that with respect. I'm not using it as a derogatory term. Like, literally, I'm sitting there, a 22, 23-year-old hanging out with a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds watching Out of My League. And that's just what it is. I was front row and center for them because I really wanted to check them out. And he's getting them to bounce around and stuff, and I was kind of sitting there bopping my head, and he's like looking around like, come on, get up, jump, and like, I can't even remotely try and imitate that right now with my my brutal cold, but and he kind of like glanced at me just for a second, and he was like, get up, and I was like, holy, and I just started like jumping and like, you know, and I'm like, holy shit, like he got me moving, and like, damn. Huh. So he won me over that night as far as being a front man, and just, he's got his shit figured out. I said that on the band episode that I did there a couple weeks ago, that I said that Dom has his shit figured out. He really does. And on top of all that, his fucking vocals are on point all the time. You know, every time I've seen them, all the tracks, all the live clips, all the live videos, I've never heard Dom have a bad performance. And from what I can tell, he screams properly, so that should never be a problem for him. And just his scream it can be either massive as fucking shit when it needs to be. He can go down low if he needs to. He can go up higher, which is really cool. And just, it's sick. Sometimes guys can do kind of one or the other, and he can kind of do both, which is really cool. And rounding off with Dom there, that's all the members of my league and kind of how I met them. So I guess I should go into the first song I ever heard. And it was the song I'm just about to play here right now. Let's kick into it. The song is 6 Feet Under. Let's fucking do it.
I'm ready to give my heart up, that way to go.
That's, I fucking love that song. Just that riff. Ooh, yeah. Just gets me pumped. I was literally sitting here fucking headbanging. Just, I love it. Out of My League, right around the time they released that song, I really started seeing a rise in popularity for them, and locally especially. You know, I would have kids that would come in, just kind of like hang out and check out guitars and stuff, and I'd hear them talking about Out of My League, and I'm like, huh, that's kind of cool, you know. Hearing, you know, people talk about, oh, like, you know, this band Out of My League and blah 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 blah, and I'd have, you know, and that was all sorts of different people, not just like people who were necessarily who knew them. So it was really cool, and I started seeing they were really gathering a following on Facebook, and they played a bunch of shows, and like they were going killer, and they uploaded a couple live tracks, and I was like, damn, like they're starting to take over like fucking Bowmanville, you know. And it was fast forward a few months, and they released their first EP, which still to this day has not left my car. It is still in there. I still listen to it on the regular, and that is Beautiful Calamity. Now, Beautiful Calamity is a 5-song EP, and it features a bunch of killer fucking songs. One of which I am going to play in just a few minutes. The first time I really heard Beautiful Calamity, I went to, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to this album all the way through. I'm going to just sit down. When I listen to something for the first time, especially if it's a new band I've never heard before, I really like to sit down, you know, not really do anything and just listen. I'm someone who I really like to just sit and listen to music. Or I'll like play it in my car on my way home or something like that, you know. Like the first time I actually heard Out of My League's newest single that was just released this week here on Tuesday, I listened to it on my way home from work, and I was blasting it. It was fucking sick. But back to Beautiful Calamity, I think they had it streaming before they had the physical copies, if I'm not mistaken, or they had it on YouTube or something. So I got home from work one night, I sat down on the couch, plugged my phone into my stereo, and I hit play on Beautiful Calamity. And that friggin' EP, like I said, to this day, it hasn't left my friggin' car. I'm not lying. You go to my car right now, it's literally still sitting in there. That friggin' EP, the diversity on it, even though it's all like all the songs are bangers and they're all like, you know, Out of My League style, you know, songs like the title track Beautiful Calamity has like that really cool piano intro, and it's really kind of, it gets heavy, but then it kind of goes back, and it's like, it's really cool style, really good hook and everything in that song. Then you got songs like DNS. It starts out with that really cool riff. It's probably one of my favorite On My League riffs, actually, and apparently it is a pop punk riff. I don't know. I don't remember who told me that one time. I feel like it was Taylor. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a pop punk riff or whatever." I'm like, "What? Like what the fuck?" I don't know. But that really cool riff, and it's just that, you know, and just this really cool riff that hooked me the second I heard it. And that's a great tune. For Those Forgotten, featuring the guy from I the Breather, Sean Span, I believe his name is. Really cool track. And then, you know, obviously 6 Feet Under is a fucking banger. You know, you guys just heard that just a little bit ago. Really sick tune. And then obviously the opening track, which is, I'm picking it. It's my favorite Out of My League song as of right now. I really like the new single. Like I'm fucking digging it. I've been playing it pretty much on repeat. But there's something about this song, I don't know what it is. I think it's literally just the chorus and like the hook, and just, it's such a good tune. And I've been promised by Anthony that there is a song on this record that I'm gonna really dig. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll take my new favorite Out of My League song spot. But the song I'm referring to is The City, which I am going to play for you guys right now. Such an awesome tune. The intro, just listen. Let's go. that is the city. What else do I need to friggin' say, okay? Like, I love that fucking song. I love all my league songs, but picking what songs I wanted to play on this podcast was really, really hard. I was thinking about just literally playing the entire EP, but I was like, I don't want to literally play the entire EP, and I wanted to talk, obviously. I wanted to talk about the band and that, and kind of just how I got to know them and stuff, and some funny stories and that. But I decided to pick the song that I first heard by them, which was 6 Feet Under, which you guys heard earlier. Then I decided to play my favorite On My League song, which is one you just heard, which is The City. And then, like I said, I promised I am going to play the new song. You're going to hear it coming up. Don't worry. You'll hear it. And it's just cool. The vibe that I feel that On My League sends out, it's real. I don't know what a lot of the lyrics are about and stuff like that. I've never really had a chance to sit down with Dom and talk to him. Maybe we'll have to sometime on the podcast if Dom's down for it. Maybe we'll have to sit down and kind of have a little bit of a discussion with him. Maybe if he's open to talk about his lyrics and stuff. But whatever it is Dom is saying and he's talking about, I'm feeling it, and it sounds real as shit to me. You can't fake that. It's something that I always say. If you're in a band, make music that you love. It's very important that you love it, but make music that is real, okay? Don't BS and bullshit your way. Don't write songs you think people will want to hear. Write shit that is real. When you are singing these words or screaming these words, fucking believe them, okay? And that's what I feel for like every single On My League song that I hear. I'm like, fuck, this is some real shit. Is it? Probably. But hey, it could be a song about taking a dump. I don't know. Like, I'm sure that there was not an On My League song about taking a dump. That was a joke. But just the point I'm trying to make here is that if Dom is the sole lyricist, I'm not sure if he is or not. But if he is, or if they all contribute or whatever, they're hitting the nail on the head because they're doing a great fucking job with it. And kind of continuing talking about Beautiful Calamity, we started selling the physical copy of the EP at the store at gigs, which was really, really cool because I got to sell out of them, which was sick, to be able to say, hey guys, so I sold out of your EP, that was really cool. And we sold a couple t-shirts of theirs. Of course, I bought mine first. First time they dropped off the EPs and the t-shirts, I bought my t-shirt and I bought my my CD. Selling the EP at the store, it really gave me an opportunity to spread the word about On My League. And selling CDs at the store was something I really strongly believed in. I didn't really touch on this in the band episode for some reason. I have no idea why. Because I did sell quite a few band EPs out of there and CDs. But out of all the ones I sold, the two I sold the most of, there was the Out of My League one and then the Beyond the Wall EP as well. That's not me telling you guys that to literally like pitch on anyone that I sold or anything. And there's nothing to do with that. Just they were ones that I regularly sold them. I would have people come in, like literally they walk in the store and be like, hey, you sell the Out of My League EP, right? Yeah. Cool. I want one. Okay, cool. And then they're like, all right, thanks, bye. And I was like, shit, okay. Like, it was good for the store, obviously, but like, it was cool to kind of see, like, there are people seeking this out. This is really cool. Their fans wanted the physical copy, which is sick because I feel like a lot of the Out of My League fans really do support the band. And there was one kind of quick story about selling one of their EPs. I'm standing there one night and this younger girl comes in, maybe 13, 14 years old, and she's wearing an Out of My League t-shirt. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. She comes in with her dad or whatever, and they're kind of looking around, and she, from like across the door, she sees the Out of My League EP, and she's like, oh, like she runs over and she holds it up, and she's all excited, and like she's so happy, and she's like, yeah, it's like, I found it. Like she's all hyped, right? And I was kind of talking with the dad, and he's like, "Oh, it's really cool you do this and stuff." Like, and I'm like, "Oh, well, it's something obviously I would do, but like, especially seeing that, I was like, I know the guys, like, it's really." And the girl like totally interrupted me. She's like, "You know them?" Yeah. You know who, like, you know them personally? I'm like, yeah, like Dom and Taylor and Steven and Allie and Anthony. Like, I know them all. Like, you know, not like we're fucking best friends and hang out or anything, but like I know who they are. I see them, and this girl legit had a fangirl moment. Okay, like she was pumped at the fact that I had met them. Okay, and I knew who they were, and knew them on a first name basis. Like she was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I really wish I could imitate what she said right now in her voice, but I legit can't, just because my throat is just not quite 100%. But literally, she was just like, "You seriously know them?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my god, I don't even know what I would do. Oh my god, I think I would die. I love them. I friggin' love them." And I'm like, "Well, you come in here often enough, you might see one of them." And then she starts freaking out even more. She's like, oh my god, if they walked in here right now, I don't even know what I would do." And like, this is legit. Like, this girl was freaking out. Her dad was like, "Okay, it's not a big deal." I'm like, yo, Out of My League is getting a legit fangirl moment. And so I said to the girl, I'm like, "Oh, like, do you go to school with them or anything?" She's like, "No, I'm from like Whitby." And I'm like, "Oh, how'd you hear about them?" "Just on Facebook." Huh. So that was my first time seeing kind of the reach that Out of My League had gotten, and the first fangirl moment I ever saw from them. And I always love telling that story just because it's hilarious, I think. I don't actually know if I've ever told all of them collectively this story. I know I told the story to Steven and Anthony for sure. I know I've told them the story before, but I don't know if I told them the story. I'll have to. I want to have all of Out of My League on at one point whenever I can figure out how to do that and like properly have them all mic'd and everything. I want to just like have them all on, because collectively I think it'd just be a fucking awesome show. And I'll have to tell that story and mimic the girl and everything and see what they think. But we gotta set that up, guys. It's gotta happen. Kept talking to this girl, and I'm like, "Oh, so like, what's your favorite song?" And she's like, "Oh my god, like, I love For All Those Forgotten," like blah 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 blah. She's going into this big thing about why it's her favorite song and why it like hits home for her and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, like, the thing that I really realized, yeah, this girl's a fan and she's fangirling and all this shit, but like, there's a legit connection there. Like, she feels something from this. It's not just, "Oh, this is like really heavy and it makes me jump and all this shit." It's like, she's like, no, like, this is real fucking connection. And it was another moment when I realized, like, these guys aren't just some fucking like metalcore, hardcore band, like, this is real shit. This is serious. And it became more and more apparent to me as time went on. A few months went by, and were led up to the Battle of the Bands last year, which was the second time I saw Out of My League play. That Battle of the Bands was awesome. I could probably do a podcast on that whole night, but the best story of the night has to do with Out of My League. I got to kind of see all the guys, and the one thing with the Battle of the Bands is when I would go, I'd be going representing Gigs Music. I always ended up having to go by myself. I didn't want to like bring my buddies with me. Like, I wanted to at least somewhat be able to be professional if I had to be, if I ran into someone or something. And so I was always flying solo. And this one thing, I'm sitting alone, getting ready for Battle of the Bands, and drummer Anthony walks by and he sees me sitting there and he comes over. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just hanging out." And he's like, "Where's your posse?" I figured TJ would have a posse. I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but it's business. So he's like, "Ah, fuck." And so like all the guys on my league ended up coming in, just kind of hang out with me for a little bit. And I'm like, "Ah, cool. Out of My League is my posse at this exact moment. That's pretty sweet. Well, they're the stars and I'm hanging out with them. So technically, I guess I don't know how the fuck that works, but just cool. And we're all chatting, and I'm like, "So guys, like, am I gonna see something new tonight?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, like, you're gonna hear some new songs." And they're like, "Just wait till you hear the intro. You're gonna love it." So Fast forward, Animali takes the stage. I'm pumped as shit. And they kick in to their new intro, which is actually the new single. It's got the intro for that and everything. You'll hear it. And just a little bit, you'll hear it. I keep hyping this because you're going to hear it, but like, you got to wait a little bit more. Okay? I can't just give it away for you. Okay? You've probably already heard it, but if for some reason you haven't, just wait a little bit. Okay? And they kick into it, and I'm like, holy fuck, and they start playing, and they're just killing it. I mean, like, oh my god, I can't. I immediately was jumping around and headbanging, and just, I was kind of trying to keep it professional a little bit, and then I just said fuck it and was jumping around, and Chris from the Firehouse was watching me, and he's just laughing. He's just like, you just can't help it, can you? I'm like, I can't. Fucking, I'm like basically moshing with myself, and just like, just having a fucking great time. And like halfway through the set, one of Anthony's kicks, I think it broke or a chain fell off or something, and like the set just stopped. And they were like, shit. And Dom fucking kept shit on track. Like he was stalling, but like it didn't feel like he was stalling. It almost felt like it was planned in a way, which I was sitting next to a bunch of the judges. The guys from Outshine were judging that year, and Brandon kind of turned to me and he's like, I couldn't have done that. He's like these guys are fucking like, they're on point. Like these guys have got it. And then they kind of kick back in, and it's like the guitar players are like, yeah, fucking, and they kicked back into their set, and I'm pretty sure they fucking like rocked harder than they did the first half of their set. I don't even know how it's possible. I felt like they had to make up by like kicking her ass even harder. And it was just, oh man, like at one point I was headbanging so much, and I'm jumping around, and just losing it. I don't even like care. And their set ends, and I'm just like, holy fuck. And I'm like sitting there basically recovering from that set, because I was like, dude, like what the fuck. And they came off stage, and I'm like, fuck yeah, and Fear the Unknown went on next after them, and I was rocking out just as hard to Fear the Unknown, but at some point during Out of My League set, and I realized this during Fear the Unknown set, some point during Out of My League set, they were rocking so hard and kicking my ass so hard that I tore my pants. Okay? I literally tore the ass out of my pants. Don't ask how. Don't know. I wear pretty baggy pants. It's not like I wear skinny jeans or anything. And just fucking, the ass was torn right off them. Right down the fucking seam. They were old jeans, but Out of My League kicked my ass so hard that night that literally they tore through my fucking jeans, okay? That's all I have to say. I don't know what else to say. When someone says, how hard does Out of My League kick your ass? I'll be like, here are the pants I was wearing, okay? Like, just, that was like one of the worst moments of my life, but I don't even care because it's funny now. The time it was not funny, and I will tell that story another time, especially when I have Mav on the show, because he's kind of partial to this story. But we definitely talk about that story on Brandon Hastings' episode of the podcast, which is also going to be coming up over the next few weeks here. But back to Out of My League. So that Battle of the Bands, it was a really close year. A lot of the bands, like, it was so close. And it was third, second, and first place. And I really, really wanted Out of My League or For the Unknown to win second place, because it was our prize, the Gigs Music gift card and that. I can't recall who was third place. I'm so sorry to that band if they're listening. I don't remember why I don't remember. Oh, fuck. I feel terrible for not remembering. I'm so sorry. And then Fear the Unknown won second place. And of course, I wouldn't go on stage because I had a fucking hole in my pants. And to this day, I feel fucking horrible about that. If Chris had told me that Fear the Unknown won, I would have taken my pants off and gone up on stage. Okay, I wouldn't have fucking cared, you know. But so I'm sitting there going, that friggin', like, I'm like literally like, no, yes, this is sick. And then kind of everyone starts like, Fear the Unknown go up and accept their prize and everything, and then they leave the stage and everyone starts like freaking out because they realize what that means. And then Chris just kind of goes, should I even read this? Like, everyone knows who won then. Like, he's just like, fucking out of my league, you know? And that friggin' place erupted, okay? Because there's a lot of reasons why that was so cool. I mean, I was like on the floor. Like, I couldn't even do it. Like, I was like, Fear the Unknown won fucking second place and Out of My League won first. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's perfect. And it was just awesome. And seeing that those bands are friends, you know, it was just wicked. And seeing that there was such competition that year, it was just really, really cool. And afterwards, I went to them. I'm like, yeah, guys, like, congrats, like, you guys deserve it. Like, you guys fucking rock. You guys, you know, kicked my ass so hard, my pants ripped, whatever the fuck, you know. And then I like beelined it the fuck out of there right quick because I was like, I don't want to stay here anymore with my ass hanging out. But a very cool night, a very awesome performance. And anytime that you guys get a chance to see Out of My League, see them, because they are fucking awesome. They are unique, and they are a band that I feel they need to fucking succeed, because there's so much repetitiveness and just staleness right now, I feel, in like a lot of the metalcore kind of hardcore genre. Not hating or talking shit, just that's what I feel. I'm not the only one who feels that way. And I feel like Out of My League can change that. I really do. I'm not just saying that. Am I biased a little bit? Maybe, but just no, especially after hearing this new single. Just, I feel like these guys are going to literally fucking dominate if they are given the opportunity. I really do. And with that, let's fucking get into this. This is the new single from Out of My League. The song, well, it's technically two songs, so technically two singles, but fuck it, it's one right now. The songs are called Resented, which is kind of the minute 30-second intro song there, and then Loaded Gun. Here it is right now. Let's fucking kick into it. Crank your speakers up. This is the new single from Out of My League. Let's fucking do it.
I'm a loaded gun. I am not the only one. I'm not my
Holy shit. Just that song's still kind of new to me too. So when I hear it, it still blows my mind. That song's a fucking journey. It's huge. I don't even know how to describe it. Just if you don't agree with me about some of the things I said about Out of My League tonight, after hearing that song, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. You know, not everyone's into their style and stuff, I guess, but like some good fucking shit right there. I dig kind of the more hardcore influence that they're going for, but still keeping that kind of metalcore-y sound in there. And there is a difference. We're not going to get into that right now, but it's sick. Apparently the album only gets better from there, so we can be fucking pumped for that. Once again, the album is called Resented, and it is coming out in just a couple of weeks on April 2nd. Resented. Go friggin' like them on Facebook. You can find them on Facebook. You just search Out of My League. You can find them on Facebook. Go follow them on Instagram at Out of My League Band. You can also find them on YouTube. You just go on YouTube, www.youtube/user/OOML band, Out of My League Band, but just the first letters there. And be on the lookout for that album, guys. I'm not sure 100%. I think they're releasing it on iTunes and everything, but just keep an eye out, because that album is going to, if what I'm told is true, and the songs only get better from there, this is going to be like competition for album of the year as far as I'm fucking concerned, okay? And that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing, because that's how good that fucking single is. Or those singles, excuse me. I consider them one song. But that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Out of My League cast here today. Thank you so much to all the guys in Out of My League. Dom, Taylor, Steven, Ali, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony, for kind of giving me the heads up on the single the other day there, and kind of giving me explicit permission to use it, and sending me the tracks and that, just so I could put it up here. It was awesome to do this. I had so much fun doing this. If you could not tell, even though I'm sick, I still, I'm sitting there smiling and my energy's up, and I feel like I could take on the fucking world right now, because I just heard all that awesome Out of My League. So with that, guys, thank you guys again so much for tuning in, hitting that play button on this very fun and awesome podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to share it with all your friends, especially if they're Out of My League fans. Be sure to go like them on Facebook. Be on the lookout for their new album, Resented. And I will catch you guys next time on The Hard Show. You didn't really think I was fucking finished, did you?